So here we are at the 5th episode of Shell Functions from the Command Line. Our objectives for this episode are to use the case statement to detect function argument count. What are we going to do with that? We're going to use it to consolidate functions in a library by collecting the latest version of each function and restore to the library and restore it to our shell environment. What this adds up to is really about bookkeeping for the library. Let's review our last step. Here's the current version of mylib. Okay, let's do that and pipe to more. We'll see all of our functions. We see hello, we see 2 copies of ls text, and the one, of course, that we have working for us is the last version, the latter version. And there's our one-line function. Okay, first, how about these functions? Well, ls minus l, mylib, it's executable, so we can readily source it. It needs to be executable. Chmod plus x if it's not. Source mylib. Okay, we'll now see that we're guaranteed how the functions in mylib are the operative version of each function. fbdy functions. Okay, notice that the step underbar is really an alias replacement for the set command. This is our current value of functions. It works off the environment. Okay, set. So what are we going to do about that? Here's where the syntax, a case statement, comes in. We're going to detect how many arguments. If we have no arguments, we'll take it from the environment. If we have an argument, we'll assume it's a file and take it from the file. One line functions. Okay, there's our current version of functions. Let's copy it and edit it to look like, we'll do this one time. Control C, Control V. We've now just retyped functions, and we want it to look like this. And we'll take the opportunity to paste it into our current environment. Let's put it on the command line. Control C, Control V again. Control V. We'll get that right in our history, and we're going to edit that to look just like the line above. The case statement takes an argument. In this case, the number of shell parameters. $sharp is the number of arguments to the function. In 0, if it matches $sharp, if there are no arguments, we're going to use set as in the past. If there's one argument, we're going to assume it's a file, and we're going to concatenate that. And then here's the ESAC, which closes the case statement, ESAC, semicolon. Now notice the inner block here allows us to execute one of those 2 statements, either set, which delivers the environment, or cat, which pipes which puts the named file on the pipe, and we treat it as before. So we now have a new functions. First, without arguments. Functions works as we are used to. It's reading from the environment. Set pipe to the awk script. Now test it on mylib. This will be the same but different. These are the functions in mylib. Okay, now with the functions in mylib, notice the 2 appearances of ls text. We have 2 copies of the file of that function's name in the file mylib. We're going to fix that. So what does it look like? Okay, fbdy functions. This is the new one that we just entered on the command line. Notice the canonical form dresses it up in a more programming fashion, which is most useful for understanding something that starts to get a little complicated. One more fix, recalling the 2 ls text names. We only need one of them, so we're going to fix the function script to accommodate the fact that there may be, and we will frequently have more than one instance of a function in a library. We'll see how to fix the library here in just a moment. So I'm going to just copy this whole thing. We could have just pasted the previous definition and dressed it up, but I'm going to take advantage of cut and paste. Notice that awk script is changed. Exclamation P $1 plus plus. That says if the first argument has been P for printed, if it's not 0, then if it's not 0 and, okay, so only in the case where it is 0 is that true, which is the first occurrence of any name that we encounter on the function name that we encounter. Let's restore the new functions to the library. fbdy functions t minus a mylib. Cat mylib pipe to more. We'll see that indeed there's a version of functions, and here is the latest version of functions. So we have 2 ls texts and 2 functions in the library. Source the library. Source mylib. Now we're guaranteed that each of the last definition is the operative one. Source mylib. We just did that. Which one is now working? fbdy functions. Will not be surprised when we see the one that we just entered. And let's see functions. If you recall now, this is going to eliminate redundant functions from the library. At least listing their names is all we're going to do. It hasn't eliminated anything from the library as such. There's still 2 copies of 2 different functions in the library. We'll review the lessons, leaving them on the screen for the day. Case statement. We used the case statement. We're going to fix up the library in our next episode. Okay, this is just a review for you. And welcome back next time. Please come back next time when we'll not only enumerate the functions, but we'll return them to the library, and you may have figured out how that's going to work.